Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Tone's Market Analysis for Thursday, August 10th. I know I usually do these things on Wednesday, but got really busy yesterday, and it's actually even better today now that we are closer to my August 11th date, which I'm still not sure if anything is going to happen. And it's also a little easier with the candles. So it's actually better that I'm doing this video today and not yesterday. Okay. And hey, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to continue to watch my channel. I know I've been doing a lot more content over on the World Crypto Network, and we're going to continue to bring you more content on the World Crypto Network. I still got to try to figure out what I'm doing with these shows. Maybe I should move more of my content to that channel so that everything is pretty much in one place. But for now, thank you for coming in here. I need to update my website once again. My calendar is pretty up to date, okay? And so if you go to my website, you can check out the calendar on my right, and you'll know exactly where I'm headed around the world, okay? Let's just jump straight into the markets. I know some people come here early to watch the traditional markets, and they are in somewhat of demand. And then I'll talk about my travel schedule, and we'll get to Bitcoin. All right, so here's the daily S&P 500. I mean, the market really took a beating today, and I've been so busy in the Bitcoin space, I wasn't exactly sure why until I decided to go and take a look. So as far as my view of it, this is just, nonsense. This isn't really a sell-off, right? This is just Trump being Trump and doing something stupid on Twitter, okay? Now, eventually Trump will stop. I don't consider Trump to be a dumb president. I find Trump to be, way smarter than somebody like George Bush, for example, right? So I don't expect Trump to keep doing something this stupid, especially when the stock market is actually having an effect, right? Well, you got to remember, all these people in Washington, we think they're monsters, but they are human, and humans that have money are heavily invested in the stock market. So when you have the president doing something stupid that's crashing the stock market, everyone is going to be on his ass, okay? And he's going to stop. And this whole thing is going to recover, okay? Now, it did fall out of my box. Like I said, this is not the all-time high. And the all-time high is not going to happen because Trump went, a little crazy on Twitter, okay? So if anyone is sending you newsletters saying this is the end, here comes the September crash, the market always crashes in October, get ready for a 50% crash in the markets, I would ignore that, okay? Yes, we fell below the 50-day moving average, but this is an exception. This is an exception, just like, the election was a bit of an exception. Where's the election? Here you go. I believe this should be the election. Nope, that's the summer. Here you go. That's the election. Okay. So it's like crazy things are happening. Okay. So this is the daily chart. Again, the all-time high that lasts a significant amount of time is something that looks like this. And it's not even like that. Like, it'll look a lot worse than that, right? But this had a chance of being the all-time high because you only had 1 day to get out, and if you wanted to get out at the top, you only had 1 hour to get out. That's a high. That's a high. When you have 2 weeks to get out at the top, that's not a high, guys. We're gonna go back up there. It's just a bad day, and you can just blame one person. That's not how market tops are made. It just doesn't happen. Let's take a look at the indicator that I have grown to love even more recently. There is new code. I think I got to most of my private clients and gave them the updated version of the code. If I haven't, please shoot me a Skype message because that's how I communicate with my clients. And I'll shoot you the updated code. And I have a little Skype group for past clients where I do things like update code files, so I don't have to, send out one by one, things like that. Okay, so Well, according to this indicator, you did not have a position if you only traded this indicator, right? I mean, I am looking at multiple things at once with technical analysis, but according to this indicator, once this red one came into existence, your bullish position, if you had it, would have been dropped, and you would have been sitting in cash. And then you get a price flip, and then you get another price flip. So if you only traded this numerical indicator, if you know how to do it, you are still in cash. And you could potentially enter a short trade tomorrow if it starts trading lower than today's low. If we open way up and start trading up, then you're still in cash. And in cash means you have no position long or short. The weekly chart doesn't look too bad. We have a support line right here at around 2,400, and not a big deal at all. We can easily fall to 2,400, and we're still good, and we can just bounce right off of that. So on the weekly chart, I mean, the worst case scenario is, I should be more careful. Let me draw from the bottom of the candle, and then from there, like, look, guys, I'm bullish the stock market. I mean, well, what can I say? I don't think we're anywhere near a top, and the bond market is where the troubles are. I mean, the RSI is worrisome because it was overbought for a decent amount of time, and like that. But we've been here before, right? We've been here right there, and we had, a few weeks of downside. And then, boom, like a 10% gain, right? So it's the MACD is still up there. We're still dealing with this cross. We're a little, toppy, and it's okay. Look at where the 50-week moving average is. I mean, the S&P 500 can fall all the way down to 2,100, and it will still be in an uptrend. Like, it's just like really high, and I think it's going higher. All right, let's close that. Oh, you know what I should do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make the charts a little bit bigger. Oh, wait, these are out of order a bit. Let me see if I can do this. There, a little bit bigger. I got to start using the shortcut keys here. Okay. Oh, I do have Rich helping me with the questions today, so thank you very much, Rich, for helping me out. Please prioritize the tipped questions above the regular questions. Thank you, Super Chat, for providing an internal filter on what people deem important. All right, gold. So here's the daily chart of gold. Not exactly working out like I expected, but gold's been, man, gold's been, I've been calling it the redheaded stepchild. I mean, gold's been a pain in the ass, to put it lightly, okay? So the daily chart is coming back up to a prior high. So we're once again stuck at a former high. I don't like double tops. This is now a triple top. As you can see, the RSI is overbought once again. So even though it broke downtrend of the RSI, it's now in overbought territory. So what do? It's like every time gold is showing you positive signs, it has a bunch of negative signs. And every time gold is showing you negative signs, it hits a 9, and boom, it's time to buy. Or a 13, and it's time to buy. Like, so gold's been all over the place, which is why I've generally been trying to stay away from it. Let me drop that. So how do we try to parse it? Like, I would not be trading gold. Like I would totally be shorting gold if it started trading below the 50-day moving average, but it didn't. It bounced right off the 50-day moving average. So even though there was a short trade according to the numerical indicator, some, caution could have been taken here in combination with other indicators. And you would have seen that, the 50-day moving average is right there. It's generally important to most traders. Let's see if we can close below the 50-day moving average before shorting it. So it bounced right off the 50-day moving average. On this one candle, if you did take the short position, that comes off the table. As of today, this indicator is telling us you can go long, but now we're at a triple top. And even though I don't expect this triple top to hold, and I now expect it to break out, it can hold it temporarily, even especially when the RSI is overbought. So I don't know. I don't know how to trade gold right now. It's really all over the place. If you're really good, I mean, you could have timed these buys and sells, but they were just they were not easy to time. Like I know this looks so simple. Oh, buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. But I'm looking at this chart, and I remember watching it as each one of these troughs happened, and it wasn't easy at all calling those things. Somebody can fact check me how right I was in trying to call them. I mean, you can see this arrow. I clearly expected it to go lower, and it didn't. I'm pretty sure I caught this 9. So I would have caught this reversal, but the rest of them, I don't know. And right now, the numerical indicator telling you higher. Momentum is telling you you're toppy. I would like to see it break the triple top, but this is not how I want to see new highs form. Okay, so I know I'm going to spend a lot of time on this, but this is an educational channel, okay? Look, I hate double tops, and I expect them to be broken. I hate triple tops even more, and I expect them to be broken. But here's the problem. I don't expect the triple top to be broken off a lower low. Like if we reversed from this point here and went back to the high, this would be that cup and handle formation that would open it up for a bust out. But because we made a lower low, telling you that prices need to go lower, going and making a high has as much of a chance of being a bull trap as it does a breakout. So this is not an easy breakout to trade. So I would not trade this breakout, even though there are bullish signs in gold. I mean, that's the best I can tell you guys. All right, let's move on. All right, here's the weekly gold, and you can see this trend line from the all-time high. I really expected it to come down and hit the bottom of the trend line and coil into the end of the year, but that is not happening. And don't forget, everything I said about the stock market holds true for gold, because Trump decided to be an idiot and pick a Twitter war with, I think, Kim Jong. This is what happened to gold. So this could be, just like the stock market crash could be temporarily for the day, the Bitcoin pop could also be temporarily for the day. And next week, we go all the way back down. So yes, we're above this Fibonacci. And yes, we are clearly above this trend line that we've been dealing with for years and years and years. So it is very likely, this is very likely that there is some legs here going back to 1400. So I don't know. I wouldn't trade it yet. I would put like a Mendoza line right here somewhere, and I would go long above this line. However, if we get above that line tomorrow, there's no way I'm going to take that bullish trade. Like I would want it to like hit this line and come down to here and then hit it again and then come down to there and then like, you know, build momentum before breaking the line. If we break this line, I'm not going to be all bullish saying gold's going to go here. I'm going to be very, very cautious. So again, stay away from gold right now. Don't let the gold bugs talk you into it's going to 3,000. There's nothing here that says that. If we slowly get to here to 1,400, and then our momentum starts to slow down and we calm down and then bust it out, then sure, I'll be on the 3,000 bandwagon, 5,000 bandwagon. I'm just saying there's plenty of time. There's no need to rush. And every time you rushed into a bullish trade, you just got crushed. Like, look at this and you know, anyway, I would be careful. That's all I can say. Nothing much to say on oil. I mean, I'm bearish oil at the moment, mostly because it hit the top of this trend line. the momentum indicator is still telling you that we can hit a 9. In fact, we can hit a 9 just hugging the top of the channel. So we don't have to go much higher to get a 9 sell. And we'll see. Oh, did I even put up the indicator on this? No, I haven't. Let me just take a look. Let me cover all my basics here. It's probably on a 5. Oh, it's on a 3. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the indicator has plenty of upside. I mean, if you were trading the indicator, you could have taken the trade at the top of the 2 candle. Of course, then you would have felt like crap as it fell all the way down. You could have waited till this 3 candle broke the 2. I mean, there's long opportunities, but it's a little scary. Maybe I'm biased because I'm generally a gold bear. I still am. Okay. Oil, it can hit a 9 and be flat. The 4 is a doji, reasons to go short. Top of the channel, reasons to go short. 50-day moving average, 50-week moving average, reasons to go short. So there's like 3 major reasons to be short and 1 minor reason to be long, and that reason could be flat and it'll still be a reason. So leaning bearish here on oil. I think the euro's done. These are 2 very textbook reversal candles. Just look at this. The 200-day moving average is right there. You had a shooting star followed by a doji. Now, of course, we still have 1 more day, but very, very likely this is going to end as a doji. Next week, you will get a 9 sell coming off of 2 reversal candles. I would be looking for, I would be looking to short. I would be looking to short the euro sometime either Friday into next week or next week. There's definitely stuff here. So I haven't done this in a while, and I'm about to start traveling, so this could be risky, but I'm going to go ahead and throw a trade on here. I haven't put on trades on these charts in a while, only because I've been too busy to actually babysit the trades. Let me see if I remember how to do that. Is that here? Yes, short position. So I would want to see it go below the doji. So sometime next week, I mean, you can prematurely go short now, but sometime next week, I would look to go short. And I guess my initial stop, I mean, I'm doing this a little prematurely. So I'm going to keep a generous stop above the height of the 7, and I will greatly lower that as the price starts to come down. And my target is going to be fairly low. At the least, it's going to be here at this breakout level. But I mean, this is a terrible risk reward. But this is just caution. I will most likely drop the risk down to the top of candle number 8. And I will probably lower the reward down to the 50-week moving average. But for now, I want to throw that on there just as a reminder to myself that I am looking at euro short, and I'll probably use 1 broker to throw a few $100 on the trade, just so at least I feel it if I'm horribly wrong. Okay, I'm done with the traditional markets. Let me. And I have 550 viewers. Excellent. Hey, guys. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your donations. Thank you to private clients. And I think you'll all thank a specific private client in a minute. What do I want to say? My travel schedule. Let me just briefly get you guys up to date on my travel schedule. Nope, that's later. Okay, so Monday I'm speaking in Toronto. I believe this event is fully sold out. I have no idea. I've been like too busy to even tweet and ask. Yep, there it is. Boom, sold out. People are reaching out to me, see if I can get them in. I have absolutely no idea if that's even possible for me. I mean, if the venue can only fit 500 people and 650 are already supposed to attend, there's absolutely nothing the organizer can do, even if his mom wants to attend at that point, right? Okay, I already see. Thank you for your donation, Mitch. This is gonna pain me, but maybe. Okay, since you tipped, I'll probably do it. Hey, Rich, grab that question in there for me, please. All right. This event should be great. I'll be doing that on Monday. After that, I'm headed to Russia. I'm headed to St. Petersburg, Russia. There I am right here. There's my profile. So that should be a lot of fun. I'll be in St. Petersburg. If you're there, check out that event. After that, I'm coming back to New York, where I'm going to speak at New York FinTech Week. I think I'm speaking there. Let's hope. Just check the speaker list. See if you see my picture. There I am. Okay, so I guess I'm speaking there. Perfect. From there, I'm not speaking there anymore. They turned down my proposal, so France is out. Won't be speaking there. But I think Jimmy's speaking there. So maybe if anyone's in France, feel free to check that out. I will be off to Switzerland, where I'll be speaking in, this looks like Geneva. I'll start my trip in Geneva. From there, I'll move on to Zurich. I'm sorry, this is the meetup in Zurich on the 13th. I'll be in Geneva a couple of days later to speak there. And then this is another event in Zurich. From there, I'm off to Germany, where I'm going to speak at the Blockchain Hotel. I'm talking to London about this. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not guaranteed for London yet, but I might be in London in the 20s. So like 21 to 27, I may be in London. Please keep up with my Twitter. I'll keep you or my schedule. I'm not at this conference yet, but if I am, I'll be going to London. Okay, and of course I'm going to close it out in Prague. This is the big one. This is the one you really want to attend. So if you're anywhere near Prague, definitely check out this event right here. Okay, so that's pretty much my travel schedule. I also want to say thank you. Unfortunately, I was going to get Zay to thank you personally on camera. This may or may not still happen, but she's not here at the moment. But we'll see. Maybe we'll work that out. So I got the painting. Thank you very much, guys. You know who you are. And so I wanted to definitely do a shout out for that. Okay. All right. Next. I guess let's do Bitcoin. Let's go to Bitcoin now. All right. Here's the long-term chart of Bitcoin. And at this point, I don't know what people are thinking, right? Some people are saying it's a bubble. To me, this is not a bubble. And obviously, because of the whole ICO disaster and stuff. Oh, yeah, August 11th. I should talk about that, too. So to me, this doesn't look like a bubble yet, okay? It just doesn't. And I would love to see us hit this green line. I mean, we spent 2 years above this green trend line from 2012. And now we spent almost 2 years below this trend line, right? We spent the entire 2013 and the entire 2014. So 2 years exactly. So if we spent 2 years below this line, then we're talking at the end of the year, we might be looking at a $10,000 Bitcoin. And imagine if we go back above the line. That would be absolute like craziness. Now, a lot of people are talking about the divergence, okay? And I'm going to draw it and then I'm going to delete it. So a lot of people are saying, well, look, there's divergence. Your RSI is making a lower high, but your price is on a higher high. This only applies after the price has turned to the downside. And the price has not turned to the downside. We're making new all-time highs almost daily now, almost weekly. So you can't look at this, right? Because if we start a move all the way to 6,000, we're going to have a higher RSI. So this divergence can only be looked at after the price has turned, and the price is not turning yet. And meanwhile, your MACD, you know what? Let me go bigger screen. Meanwhile, your MACD is on a higher high, so your MACD and RSI are conflicting. Therefore, this is not a good metric to use as divergence calling for a high. Okay, just wanted to point that out. All right, let's take a look at the indicator. I'm going to do the back test one so that all the numbers show up, not just the last couple of numbers. Okay, so that 4 is very promising to me, okay? I talk about this every morning, And this 4 is going to end. This candle is going to end on Sunday. And I am looking for 5 more weeks of upside to get us to a 9. How will the 9 look? I have no idea. It might look something like this. I'm hoping it looks something like this. Or it can look something like this. On the daily chart, if the 9 looks like the 7 candle, that's going to be scary. Okay? And the 9 should be here in the middle of September, just when the 2x crazies from the New York agreement will start to have their panties in a bunch again. Okay? Let's move on to daily. I zoomed daily out. Those that are new to my channel, I've been doing this for a long time, guys. There are articles that I started writing back before this triangle was drawn. Okay? And there are Cointelegraph articles from back in the day where I called this triangle and I called for a 25% crash in the price of Bitcoin. People hated me back then. Some people still hate me now. I was calling this, I was calling a bear market every step of the way. And in fact, I was calling it even lower than it actually reversed. So I was wrong. I thought Bitcoin would have even a lower price. And that's why I missed my chance to buy a bunch of Bitcoin, because I was waiting for this and I was horribly wrong. Okay. It didn't fall to my expectation. Okay. I've been generally right most of the way up. Over here, I was also horribly wrong. You know, there were no videos back then, but there were articles and statements. I did a whole video once where I talked about my my biggest prediction blunders in over the last 3 years. There haven't been many, but there's been a few. Okay. Let's move. And you can see my trend lines and why I have them. The green is just a bracket over the top of the channel. The reason why I thought that once the Bitcoin price got to the all-time high of $2,000, I thought it would stay and hug the pink channel like it hugged the pink channel for 6 months along the bottom over here. And I wanted to have some kind of a bracket around it. So I came up with this green channel, but we clearly broke way above it. Okay, let's zoom in and see what we got. Okay, so these were pretty good calls. I mean, this call wasn't perfect because we broke to the downside, but the 50-day moving average held us up, and this target was met just a few weeks later, and it was perfectly in line with this triangle target. I tweeted this out. Let's see here. When did I tweet this out? There it is. Oh, that's not the actual tweet. But I tweeted this one out yesterday. But I tweeted this out just as this big 3 candle was forming. And then I said, this is a tricky situation that can go both ways. Let's go back to the live chart. Okay, so there's not much else here. We're above all the metrics, so we're doing good. Hold on a second, guys. I need a drink. Oh man, losing my voice. So let's get the numerics on here. See what we got. There we are. Okay, so this is very, very interesting. Okay, I don't want to take up too much time. I want to get to the Q&A. So that's an 8. And again, I am very familiar with this indicator. I've watched trading desks trade this indicator. So when I see this, there's like 100 things that pop into my head that's even impossible to explain in a 1-hour video. Okay, there was like 250-page books written on this. So here's your Mendoza line, right? The Mendoza line for tomorrow is this. Okay. Oops. I'll tell you exactly what it is too. So the height of this candle is 3396. So all I gotta do is put 3396 and 3396. Okay. Here's our line. Okay. Now this count is very different on Bitstamp. Okay. Like if I change the chart to Bitstamp, it's going to be a 6. I don't have any art on this one. It's going to be a 6 because this one altered the count. There's like $1 difference here, right? So you got to always keep in mind where we're at. Go back to Bitfinex. Okay, so you got to keep in mind where we're going to look at the indicators and not much there. Okay, so tomorrow, I mean, this is going to be an 8. Okay, we have to just stay above the 4 in a couple of hours. This is going to be an 8. Tomorrow is going to be a 9 if we close above the yellow line. If we don't close above the yellow line, it's going to tell you to go to cash. But, and this is a big but, if we get a 9 and it's a reversal candle, something like, I don't even know, something like this, the candle that followed this 9, that would be a major bearish signal. If we get a 9 candle that looks like this, that's also a bearish signal. But if we get a 9 that looks like this, that's not necessarily a bearish signal yet. We wait another day. So a 9 tomorrow could be potentially a day to take a profit. But if we don't get a 9 tomorrow and we get a red 1, that might be a good indication to just stay long, because that also means the market is not ready to top. And we can start a brand new 9 count going up. So just because we don't get a 9, it does not mean that the bullish trend is over. So lots of things can happen tomorrow. And ironically, tomorrow is August 11th. And, oh, I'm not actually going to pull it up right now. But, oh, man. But August 11th was going to be my critical day for something, and I don't know what it's going to be. So let's see what happens tomorrow. I might jump on video on Saturday for a minute to kind of explain a couple of things. But I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm really waiting to see if it's a 9 or it's a 1, or I don't know if big blockers are going to do something. Maybe it's the day Bcash dies. Oh, I have an idea about Bcash. I was going to tweet it out. I'm going to keep calling it Bcash as long as the price stays above 0.05. So as long as the price is more than 5% of Bitcoin, I'll keep calling it Bcash. The moment the price falls below 0.03, I'm going to start calling it Ccash. Then if it falls below 0.02, it'll be Dcash. And once it goes under 0.01, I'm going to start calling it Fcash, because that's pretty much what it is, okay? So I'll be tweeting that out. I'm going to try and get those hashtags going. We'll see what's going to happen. But anyway, so tomorrow is going to be a big day for me either way. I may be watching this daily candle. I'm going to see what happens with the 9, and I'll try and tweet that out. All right, next. Hourly chart. I don't really care for the hourly chart right now, because the events in Bitcoin are so big that the hourly chart isn't really useful, and it hasn't been useful in a long time. I used to cover the hourly chart in major detail. I used to tweet the hourly chart. Oh my God, that must have been a long time ago. My God, how far back do I have to scroll? I have to like zoom out. I used to cover the hourly. Jesus. There it is. Now we're getting somewhere. I mean, are there drawings? What's going on? Wait, is that a 9 at the very top? Wow, look at that. Jeez. Maybe the hourly chart is useful. Look at that. My God. Was I even looking at this indicator back then? Wow. That would have been a nice sell signal. They don't always work, but when they work really well. God, I can't even scroll back far enough. There it is. Wow. I used to cover the hourly chart like multiple times a day. I used to tweet this out all the time back when it was relevant, but I just don't see it as relevant right now. So nothing to see there. What do we got here? Is this the is this the B trash? Okay, yeah. This is so I don't know. It's going down. It just made a new low. I don't know. I mean, it's on a 7 hourly. I guess if it gets to a 9, there could be some reason for a reversal. The 50-day moving average has appeared. 50-hour moving average, that's going down. 200-hour average moving down. Like I wanted to try and sell right here, but I missed it. So I got a stupid, limit order that I'm being stubborn on. I should just cut my loss. I should just sell this thing. I mean, I don't know what to do about it. I don't know. I don't see anything. I mean, it's okay. Actually, yeah. So here's the daily. You got I mean, this is huge right here. Well, whatever this is, what the hell is this? Point, like around here somewhere. I don't know. 0.08. There it is. 0.08 on Kraken. Okay. I don't know how the other exchanges look. Okay. All I know is if it closes below 0.08 on a daily chart on Kraken, I mean that's terrible. I mean that just opens up the floodgates. I mean, people are gonna really rush to break into their private keys in order to sell this thing before it goes to zero. I mean, again, I could be wrong, right? I mean, I said the same thing about Ethereum. Who the hell knows? But I mean, this is how I would trade an IPO if this was, let's say, a Facebook IPO. I don't know. We can test it. I guess this isn't that important. I mean, that's how I would have traded the Facebook IPO. Is this the daily chart? All right, there it is, right? So watch this. Here's Facebook, right? I mean, it's not much different. Here's the Facebook IPO. If I drew the same thing on the Facebook IPO that I just drew on the Bcash IPO, I would have drawn that same line. Where is it? I would have drawn that same damn line, like somewhere around here at a round number. Well, $25, right there. Would have been a nice round number. 25. Maybe I would have done 30. I don't know, but it wouldn't have mattered, right? Because it gapped. It gapped. So it wouldn't matter if I drew the line here, or I drew the line here, or anywhere in between. The point is, at the moment Facebook off the IPO, I would have seen the original bounce. The moment it fell back to the original bounce and fell below it, funny how there's a 9 buy right there. And then there's a 9 sell right here. That's really fascinating, actually, guys. I love it. I didn't put those numbers in. I didn't expect to be looking at Facebook today. So I would have put this line somewhere between 25 and 27. No, not 27. That would have been too high. Between 25 and 26. And I would have totally botched this trade because of the earnings gap. But the idea is the moment this thing goes below the first bounce, you sell this sucker short. Like sell the shit out of it short. Could have made like 50% on your money. It fell 50. And then, it gave you a nice 9 buy reversal over here somewhere, right? It's the same concept. BCH, BTC. No. What am I looking at here? BCH, B. Okay. BCH, XBT, Kraken. There. Okay. It's the same concept, guys. Same daily chart as Facebook. Same idea. Same concept. The moment it goes below the first bounce, it's going to have a massacre. So use that information as you like. I was wrong on Ethereum. Though I really wasn't wrong on Ethereum. When it fell below $1, it fell to 50 cents. Okay, then it rebounded. All right, Litecoin. Again, all my art has disappeared because BTCE disappeared, so I'm lazy. Weekly chart, double top, that's a good thing because now if we reverse around here and go back to the top, we could bust out. And this is what I mean. This is that thing that gold didn't do, right? Like if Litecoin reverses from this area and you're getting some reversal candles, guys, I mean, that's a doji, that's a doji. You're getting some reversal candles. If it can reverse here and go back to the all-time high in Bitcoin, or at least, you know, the high this year, I would be much more confident in it breaking out. But if it fell all the way to like the 50 weeks, sorry, and made a lower low and then reversed, I would be less confident that it's going to be able to have the momentum to break out. So you just got to keep that in mind, okay? Just glancing at the numbers. Still telling you to short, but I don't like these reversal candles. So neutral. The 9 sell was clear. 13 buy was near the bottom. You know, if I do the back test, would have been a buy right here on the 2. Would have been a sell on the 9. Would have been a nice trade. This would have been, you know, break even. This would have been a little tiny, probably a little loss. Okay. So anyway, let's move on. Litecoin daily. I don't see anything here. Maybe if I turn on the numbers, there's nothing. You know, the colors are flipping. The green 2 didn't go below the green 1. RSI, MACD, middle of nowhere, nothing. Litecoin, nothing. Monero. You can thank my private client from this morning for this. We covered Monero, so I'm covering Monero. Monero is a little tricky right now. Okay, let's take a look at the numbers. This I don't need. Let's do this. The triangle clearly didn't work out. There were lots of mixed signals as this triangle was forming. I really like the triangle. You still have the 50-week moving average on Monero. This 4 looked like it'll go back into the triangle, but then you got crushed. The numerical indicator told you to short on right here. It told you to short Monero at the bottom of this candle, and you're still in a profitable short position. You still have a couple of more days in a numerical indicator, but look, the 50-day moving average is 50-week moving average is playing its role. And what the hell is that line? I don't even know. Oh, let's get rid of that. Just annoying. Okay. The 50-day moving average is playing its role. You got a couple of dojis coming in. It can reverse. I mean, this could be a fake. This could be like a bear trap. And then it goes back and meets the triangle. So I'm generally neutral, though there's reasons to go short and there's reasons for a bounce. Okay. Monero on the USD, not much. It's just cleaner. If we can break above 57 on the USD, I mean, this arrow will still apply, but we need to break it first. Okay, next. Oh, God, I had Ethereum up from this morning. Oh, well, I guess you guys get Ethereum. So Ethereum is looking bearish to me, okay? Mostly because, and I talked about it this morning, mostly because of the 50-day moving average coming down, and it's starting to slow momentum. If we get back to this line, you have support, but now it becomes this double bottom thing, and I expect it to break. Also, the last time the moving average is crossed, Ethereum had a monster rally to the tune of 200%. If they cross again to the downside, it might be scary, guys. So who the hell knows? Momentum is still bullish, but these reversal candles are coming in. I guess I can throw my indicator on it just for the hell of it. Not really my indicator, but I mean, it's on a 3. There was a bullish entry here. I would not have taken this bullish entry because of the 50-day moving average. And the 2 ended up being a reversal candle to the downside after this move from the bottom. So I wouldn't touch Ethereum right now. I'm leaning bearish. All right, next. All right, I think a lot of people have been waiting for this, okay? So I specifically had a client call about Decred because I never talked about Decred. And if one client pays for a brand new chart, then you all get it later on in the show. So here you go. So we talked about Decred at length from a technical perspective, a little bit from a fundamental perspective. I don't know much about Decred. But from a technical perspective, it didn't really matter. Back when we looked at it this morning, this was more of a doji candle with the 200-day moving average holding it up. That is no longer the case. And the day is going to close in a couple of hours. So this is certainly looking like a close below the 200-day. It will also be a close below, well, not yet. But if we close below that line, that is in itself a little bit troublesome, right? Because we have not been this low in a very long time. Well, let me rephrase that. We haven't been this low since only June. But the top side, I put this line in here, okay? So if it goes back up, if it reverses, you now have the 50-day moving average trending down, potentially looking to cross in the near future. So that's not where you really want to be. If it does go back up, I'm expecting this line to be resistance. So your upside is generally limited. This is just a daily chart. And look, when the moving average is crossed, there was a monster upside. I mean, they crossed back at 0.0015. So you don't really want to see them cross again to the downside, because if they do, this may also get ugly, okay? So my ultimate support is right here, and there's a reason for that. Okay? This might actually need to be a little bit lower. Yeah, I need to lower this. I don't know why I drew it there. Maybe I accidentally raised it. So what is that? 0.032-ish, okay? So look, Decred started around this area, and then it crashed. And then it went back up and it bounced off of this line. It was resistance. Notice how it went right into the moving average cross, which is something that I like. I like seeing that. I love seeing the price get ahead of the moving average cross and then pull back into the cross and bounce off the cross. This was actually a very, very good technical trade signal for those that were technically trading it at the time. I'm looking at it for the first time. Hindsight's always 20/20. And then because the pullback was shallow, you could have traded the all-time breakout. And look how strong this breakout was. The reason this breakout was so strong is because it broke it with lots of room to spare. If it came all the way back down, it would not have had the momentum to break it so strong. Now, the moving average crossover lasted for a long time. Since when? Since February, right? And it had a lot of momentum. And all of this momentum can completely go backwards upon the next moving average crossover to the downside. So again, if we fall apart right here, ideally, you want it to bounce off this line. After it broke above this line, it never came back to test this line. It actually went up too high too fast. So what you wanted in this breakout is for this pullback. Where am I here? Is for this pullback to actually come back and test the level of the breakout and then go up. Again, I'm being totally impartial here. I don't care if this is Decred or whatever, right? Or a penny stock. So that's what you really wanted, but you didn't get it. And because you never got it, there should always be a worry and panic that this line was never properly retested. So it can go back and test this line at any point. So even if we turn up and go all the way up, we can still come back and retest this line. So you really want to test this line sooner than later. So what you really, really want, if you think Decred has a real future and you want it to be stable, you want this to bounce off this line because it didn't do it 4 months ago, okay? So that's kind of what you want to see. And then, it can come back here and mess around and then go higher, right? Now, again, I'm not a fan of altcoins, but looking at this independently, that's what you have. Now, if it starts closing above this line, things get scary. Now, is there any good news? Well, the only good news I can think of is if I open up my indicator and it's somewhere near a 9, and let's see. And it's on a 7, okay? So that means a 9 is coming. Now, a 9 could mean a reversal, or a 9 could mean the start of a new trend back to the downside. You can't tell until a couple of days past the 9, or how the shape of the candle that made the 9. So at the least, I'm looking at 2 more down days, but these down days don't have to be literally down. As long as the next 2 candles close under the 4 and the 5, we will get that 9. But this candle is not promising to me. It was this morning when it was a doji coming off the hammer. But now, if it closes at the low of the day, especially below this yellow line, Decred might be in trouble. But it looks like a lot of coins are in trouble now that Bitcoin is solving its scaling issues. Okay, so I think on this note, I'm done with my markets. That was my last one. I know Rich has like a million questions for me already. The one thing I really wanted to mention is everyone, yeah, I guess I'll mention it. Okay, Bcash. Let me just refresh these pages. I'm going to go through this real quick. The hash rate on ViaBTC, the garbage that started it all, is only 17 petahash. So they don't even give a shit about Bcash, okay? The price on Bittrex, the exchange where you could always sell it quickly and always have, that's the daily. It's still updating. Okay. Sorry, not Bittrex, HitBTC. My bad. Sorry, HitBTC. Here's Bittrex. Yeah, going up a little bit. I mean, I would love to see it go back to 0.11. That's where my sell limit order is, but I think I'm just going to sell it today or tomorrow. I don't care. I really don't. Let's see. 13% of the difficulty of Bitcoin. Boom. 54% more profitable to mine Bitcoin. That's what I like to see. Okay. Mempool. Nothing special. Okay. Market cap. Still at number 4. I guess it deserves to be at number 4, but Ethereum and Monero deserve to be 2 and 3. So who knows? What the hell is this? Somebody tell me what this is? I have no idea what this is. Never seen it before. Probably another scam. My default answer is it's a scam. I mean, you don't just, yeah. It's another pump and dump. I don't care. Guys, every week there is a new. I know that's a scam. I glanced at that for 10 minutes. That was plenty of time. You all know my opinion on Dash. Oh, that's definitely a scam. I've dealt with that one already. At least someone asked me to look at it for 10 minutes. Sometimes 10 minutes is all it takes. But yeah. All right, next. Mining. Antpool, under 20%. That's what I like to see. Slush, where I'm mining, up to 4.8%. Beautiful. I support Slush. Slush supports the network. Awesome. Let's see how we do in SegWit activated. Hope you guys caught our live show. And yep, we got a few blocks to go before you can start making segregated witness transactions. Mined the block 3 minutes ago. Bitcoin is doing well. And the block size paper by Bitfury, strongly recommended. Very, very useful reading. All right, can I finally edit this? Oh, God. Oh, this is bad. It's not as bad as it's been, but it's not as bad as it's been. But I mean, on this exchange, because this exchange was way more liquid, on this exchange, your Mendoza line is here. The moment it goes below 0.06, that's all she wrote. Okay, that's that Facebook thing I was talking about. All right, on Kraken, it's 0.08. But this exchange had a more realistic price because you can trade it better. Okay. Okay, what else did I want to say? Okay, I wanted to say this. Okay, so people keep sending me these articles about the problems with SegWit. Okay, I didn't read this. I don't give a shit about this. The reason I don't give a shit about this is because the person put this on Steemit. Steemit is a scam. I've talked about this for a long time. Anyone that doesn't understand that and is posting their content on Steemit probably doesn't understand blockchains. I don't care what this guy's opinion is about SegWit. I do not take him credibly, okay? Also, he's been in Bitcoin from 2011 or 2012. I have already met 8,000 people that have been in Bitcoin from 2011. Again, that's complete and utter bullshit, okay? I'm tired of listening to everyone I ever meet has been in Bitcoin since 2011. If they were, Bitcoin wouldn't have been $1 in 2011. Okay, these things are completely ridiculous. Let me show you the kinds of readers of this article that are supporting it. Totally agree with you. I was thinking to buy more Bitcoin in huge amounts to have stopped because I think there is too much fear in the space. Okay, so you want to buy Bitcoin, but you don't want to buy because there's too much fear in the space. Even like I don't want to use derogatory words, but anyone that's even thinking about buying any asset should know the original Wall Street slogan. You buy when there's fear and you sell when there's euphoria, okay? So this guy doesn't want to buy Bitcoin because there's too much fear in the air, but he's going to buy Ethereum. And then he plans to convert all of it to Steem. These are the kinds of people that are agreeing with the article above. This is insane, okay? I have no interest in reading that article. If that article was credible, it would be in a real publication. It wouldn't be on Steemit, okay? Don't take these articles seriously and don't waste your time reading them. I'll just leave it there. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to say. And where is it? I don't know where my picture is. Oh, okay. Hey guys, thank you for your donations. Thank you for your tips and in the chat. Rich has compiled those for me, I hope, and I'll get to those in 1 second. These are the affiliate codes I have in the description of my video. One broker is a BTCE and an anonymous exchange. So please, I trade there, but please trade there carefully. The rest are like either discount codes or affiliates. Magic Money is free with Amazon Prime. It's a documentary I was in. TradingView, of course, I use all by the minute. Again, check out Crypto HW Wallet. They just got an order of Trezors and Ledgers. I think they're all in stock now. So go ahead and check that out. And I have a discount code in the bottom of the video. All right. Man, I think I've gone for an hour. Let's turn the video on. I keep trying to make these an hour, but not happening. Still wearing a hat. We might retire this hat very soon. But we finally got SegWit. It got locked in this week. We had a nice live chat for it. All right, let me get to your questions. All right, Rich, your time to shine here. Maybe I can watch both. Maybe I can hold on a second. Let me adjust my monitor here. Maybe I can do questions and I can do questions and I can glance at the live chat going along the side. Okay. All right. Hey, Tone, wait. Hey, Tone, what do you think will be the future of Litecoin in near and medium future now that Bitcoin got SegWit? I think in the near future, Litecoin's thunder is done. Okay. Now, no one is trying to hard fork Litecoin. No one is trying to, centralize Litecoin. No one is trying to control Litecoin. But everyone is still trying to do all those things to Bitcoin. So sooner or later, there'll be another situation where Litecoin becomes more useful and the Bitcoin blocks are being spammed. By the way, I have proof that Bitcoin was being spammed during that, like direct proof, right? Because I looked into an old cold storage private key that I haven't used in years. So there's been no transaction in it for years. But guess what? There are 2 Satoshis in there that came in during the spam attack, during the, back in like May, back when we were getting like all those, like the mempool got out of control. My old key got 2 monster spam attacks. I got like a Satoshi, and that Satoshi had like 1,000 inputs. So it was like it's an unspendable Satoshi in my cold storage wallet. Okay, that is straight up scam, straight up manipulation in order to push the big block agenda. So I will not give in to these people. I will not. Like, I have no problem not being friends with anyone that was pushing for this shit and spamming old addresses that they thought, oh, nobody will notice if we spam addresses that haven't been used in years. Guess what? People noticed. And you know when they noticed? When they decided to get their free money from the Bcash scam, okay? So we noticed, all right? So I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, why is there like 2 extra Satoshis in my wallet of unspendable transactions? I go to spend that Satoshi, it'll probably cost me like $10 right now to spend it because of how much data that 1 Satoshi takes up. It's completely ridiculous. Complete spam attack, totally on purpose, and complete bullshit, okay? So though these attacks will come back, and Litecoin will have usefulness, but right now I'm not very bullish on Litecoin. And thank you for the donation that came along with that question. Okay, next. Can you have a look at NEO? Is NEO that thing that I just pulled up? Here's the thing, guys. If your token is not on like TradingView, it's really difficult for me to analyze it. Like, I know you are. I know your question came with a generous tip, and I want to do it. Okay, where are my charts? Okay, here's my Decred chart. I'll go back to Decred, I guess. Let me do this. Okay, so what the hell is NEO? I don't even know what NEO is. All right, NEO Bitcoin on Bittrex. I hope this is what you're talking about. I really, really do. I think somebody asked me to look at this the other day, and I told them this was a bad idea, but clearly I was wrong, right? Guys, this is nothing. It's at a high. I mean, what do I want to say? There was a very clear. This is the weekly chart. It's just, it's just a pump and dump of the week, of the month, whatever, of the summer. Like, it's just chat groups that are pumping this shit up, and then they're gonna sell it. Like, you want to make money on this, fine. I mean, there was a 9 sell here that was kind of perfect on the weekly chart. You started. I mean, you could have gone long early this week if you're using my numerical indicator on the daily chart. You had a 9 sell yesterday, but it wasn't the reversal candle, so could have waited. It's not a reversal candle today. It's a big pump going on. I mean, when something is an all-time high, what do you want me to say? I mean, I have the same answer for Bitcoin. Like, I have no idea. I don't know how high this can go. This can go to the moon. I don't know. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's some form of a scam. If you want to profit on it, go for it. I'm not touching it. That's the best I can do, guys. I mean, I want to get to questions that interest me a little bit more. But thank you for your donations. I did my best to look at it. You can't analyze something at an all-time high. It doesn't, and technical analysis doesn't work that way. Okay, very difficult. Like, it's hard to analyze the S&P 500 right now. It's very difficult to analyze things that are an all-time high. All right, let's move on. I'm going to go back to where was I? I was at BCH and then XBT. That's where I was. All right. All right, next. What is the Bitcoin LTE fork? I have no idea. I've seen it circulating on our Bitcoin. Should we be worried? I don't know. I'm not. I don't know what a Bitcoin LTE fork is. So sorry, man. Sorry, Blue. I know you sent that question in. We'll try to add it to, like, I don't know, one of the topics on the World Crypto Network and see, but I have no idea. Why do the Bcash miners prefer to not identify themselves on the block comments? That is a very good question. We addressed this question at length on the World Crypto Network either yesterday or the day before. I don't remember. But check it out. It's a recent video from the World Crypto Network. We talked about this. It was a very good discussion. They don't want to identify themselves because because it's a centralized pool. It's centralized. It's probably one or two guys, and then totally centralized. Okay. All right. Next. Right. So if they're centralized, why would they identify themselves? What will happen to the price of Bitcoin and gold if the USA goes to war with North Korea? Guys, if the USA is not going to war with North Korea, that war is going to be over in a day. Okay. I mean, if they want it to be, right? I mean, the war with Afghanistan could have been over in a day too. We're not going to war with Korea. North Korea should just be ignored. What's going to happen? Nothing. Nothing. I mean, war with North Korea is not very credible. North Korea does not have nukes to bomb us. You know, if China tries to defend North Korea, then we have a problem. But if China doesn't defend North Korea, then this war can end in a week if they wanted to. You know. All right, next. Nothing. The markets aren't going to care. There's only two wars that are relevant: U.S. versus Russia, U.S. versus China. Everything else is noise. All right, next. Would you sell the indicator code for one of payments to us if we don't take the consultancy session? I don't want to get into the business of selling code that I don't have the right to, right? I mean, I don't know. Email me. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm going to give it away for free because everyone's going to email me. And I don't want to say I'm going to charge you just for the code because that would be wrong. So somewhere in between, right? And email me, talk to me privately. If you're 100% in equities, is it a good time to sell 20% and put it into gold? I don't think so. I'm still waiting for gold to go under 1,000, and then you can put more than 20% into gold, right? I don't like gold right now. I know the equities fell today and gold went up today, but it can all reverse tomorrow if Trump, takes a Twitter break. I mean, come on, you can't base your trading based on one person's Twitter account. Unless it's mine. No, I'm kidding. All right, next. The infamous date of August 11th is tomorrow. Can you comment or predict what will happen? Not really. Like, I don't know what will happen, guys. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a fortune teller. I have no idea what's going to happen. There is a 9 candle on the Bitcoin charts. So that could lead to a bit of a sell-off. It could also lead to a pop. Anything can happen. Nothing can happen. I mean, I came close to SegWit activation. Nobody knew when SegWit activation even was. A week ago, we all thought SegWit would activate on August 11th. I mean, I came as close as I could on something that I predicted 3 years ago to be the most important day in Bitcoin history. I'm happy with that. Is anything going to happen tomorrow? Probably not. If something happens tomorrow, we'll know on Saturday. I'm waiting for it as much as you are. Next, SegWit 2x. With massive miner support, forks off. Well, but it hasn't, right? I mean, look, if the miners wanted bigger blocks, they would be mining B-Trash, but they're not, right? Like 95% of mining is still on Bitcoin. and Bcash is now 50% less profitable to mine. So why on earth do you assume that miners want to mine big blocks? They just wanted to prevent SegWit. What are the implications for the legacy Bitcoin chain, being that many miners may follow and we will have 3 Bitcoin chains? No, we fine. We can have 18 Bitcoin chains. It doesn't matter if 17 of them are less than 5% of the value of Bitcoin. It's really irrelevant. All they will do is steal thunder from the shitcoins, because they'll be just slightly better shitcoins, giving Bitcoiners an advantage on getting more Bitcoin, which, by the way, is a problem. I'm not going to get into it here. I'm going to have like individual short shows. What Bcash did is a problem. As you all know, I have 700 viewers, by the way. Thank you, guys. I hate proof of stake. I hate it with a passion. Dash is a scam because Dash is half proof of stake. Steemit is a scam because it's 95% proof of stake, okay? Like, proof of stake is garbage. Bcash just gave every Bitcoiner 10% more Bitcoin. That's a problem. That's proof of stake land, okay? That's a problem. Now, if it happens once, no biggie. Happens twice, no biggie. If this starts to happen perpetually, if every new altcoin comes out as a Bitcoin fork, and old school Bitcoiners, maybe I can slowly get migrated into OG Bitcoiners. I don't think so, because I don't think I have enough Bitcoin for that. But like, if OG Bitcoiners sitting on thousands of Bitcoin suddenly get to make 10% more Bitcoin for doing nothing other than being early adopters, that's proof of stake land. That would mean that Bitcoin is shit. Okay? So I do not want to see perpetual Bcash handing out free money to OG Bitcoiners. I have no interest in people like Roger Ver making 10 extra % on their Bitcoins by selling them on day one. I don't want to make 10% on my Bitcoin by selling them on day one. That's proof of stake land. And if Bitcoin resembles proof of stake, I'm out. That's not what I signed up for. Okay? So this is not good. Not good. Okay? So once is okay. Twice is okay. 3, borderline. Once it goes beyond 3, we got a problem. Okay? But no one's going to take them seriously, because then everyone would sell it immediately or everyone would ignore it. Okay? But don't forget, one of these freaking things is going to be a straight up honeypot to get OG Bitcoiners to expose their private keys, and then boom, they get busted by the feds. So be careful about that. Okay? Always a caution. So no, miners are, Core is going to put in protection against 2x. Core is saying, screw this. We can talk about a hard fork a year from now. Just talk. Just talk. No promises. We can talk about a hard fork a year from now. I think that's a good idea. Squash this thing, sooner than later. Maybe a little too soon for my liking, but you know what? Screw them. If the miners want to go mine shit, they can go mine Bcash. They're not going to do it. We called the miners bluff and we won. Okay, done. All right, next question. Thank you for the tip on this next question. Hey, Tone, did you think this bull run would be higher at this point? It feels a little subdued, sub 3,500. No, absolutely not. If you look at my tweet from about a week ago, I specifically said that 3,500 is your target. I did not think we would go above 3,500. We are actually exactly where I expected us to be. And I'm expecting 4,000 to 5,000 by end of September. But right now, we're exactly where I thought we would be. And you can just go through my Twitter and take a look at that. Oh, and speaking of Twitter, I know I have a lot of traders watching me, and I hope I'm not too late to remind you guys again. If I go to my Twitter, yeah, here is that tweet. Where is it? Oh, here's something I said on on a video recently, and thank you for transcribing it into print. Feel free to go back to this time slot later, pause it. People seem to really like that. Okay. Where's my chart? Man, did I really tweet it that long ago? It's probably a continuation of this tweet. Right. So here it is, right? So here's what I tweeted. I expected us to be at 3,500 off of this pattern, and then again off of this pattern. I tweeted this out live. And I expected us to be right here at 3,500, and then potentially even come all the way back down to 3,000 and then go up to 4,000 to 5,000. So we're exactly where I expected us to be. The Twitter blockchain proves it. Next. Tone, why are you so good at predicting the price of Bitcoin and you suck at predicting altcoins? Good question. I'm very biased against altcoins, so that probably has a factor. Also, I care a lot about Bitcoin, so I pay attention to everything that happens in Bitcoin. So it helps me with my fundamentals along with my technicals. Also, Bitcoin is a much more mature market with a lot more liquidity, and I would rather analyze, Apple and Amazon and Netflix. I'd rather do TA on those stocks than something that's a penny stock, right? So I would be it's the same thing holds. I'm much better at analyzing Bitcoin and Litecoin because of the liquidity. Ethereum is just weird because of all the ICOs, and the rest are just very manipulated. Okay, see, I don't think gold is manipulated. I don't. I really don't. And I don't think the stock market is manipulated. And I don't think anything large cap is manipulated. But your penny stock is manipulated. Okay, everyone wants to focus on the big stuff. I focus on the smaller stuff being manipulated. Okay, next. Do you think BTC should be traded in smaller units, such as 1 millibitcoin, I think, equals 350, or 1 bit? Okay, so I like the bit. I've answered this question on several occasions prior. I do like the bit. I like using the bit, but not yet, okay? Because like someone said, like right now, 1 bit is 0.0035, right? And normal people just have a problem thinking more than 2 digits to the right of the decimal place. So very few people can think in fragments of a penny, right? But they can understand 1 penny. So I would be okay with the bit nomenclature once Bitcoin is stable above $10,000. Because once 1 Bitcoin is above $10,000, that means 1 bit is 1 penny. And then it makes total sense to try and move the ecosystem to talk in bits instead of Bitcoin. But then your minimum amount for a bit is a penny, and then you go up from there. And then you go 1 bit is 10 cents, right? And that means that 1 Bitcoin is 100 Gs. So I think, right? No. Wait. A multiple of 10. Yeah. So if 1 bit is 10 cents, then 1 Bitcoin is 100 Gs. And if 1 bit is $1, that means 1 Bitcoin is $1 million. Okay. So sure, I don't mind talking in bits, but only after 1 bit is greater than a penny. All right. Next. Oh, thank you, Johnny, for your very nice comment that came along with the tip. All right, next. Could you point me towards a resource so I can learn a bit more about that numerical indicator that you have been using? I would like to try and program one myself. Sure, sort of, right? Just Google 939 and you will find its name. And you can Google for a book, and you can try and program it. It was not simple, I can guarantee you that. But it's a very good exercise in programming. Next. As most of the mining pools are for New York agreement, so 2x will be the main chain in 3 months. No, it won't. Absolutely not. The legacy blockchain will have then smaller hash rate than the 2x. No, guys, why do you assume that miners will do what they say they're going to do? Miners said they were going to do SegWit, and look what happened. You do not trust the miners. They will, if the miners wanted bigger blocks, they could be mining Bcash, but they're not. They are not going to fork to 2x, because if Bcash is viable, I'm going to tell me, and everyone like me are going to tell all of them, go mine it. It already exists. And if Bcash is dead, then we're going to tell them this is what happens when you try to hard fork. The first miner that mines a 2x block is going to get rejected from the network, and they'll lose, like, imagine if one Bitcoin is $5,000 or $6,000 by September or October. You know, a block reward, 12.5 Bitcoins, 5,000 per Bitcoin. That's 50 grand, 50,000 US. If you're in China, it's 50,000 US. You're going to give up 50,000 US? Hell no. Just ask Bitcoin.com mining pool. They lost $13,000. I would love to see them lose 50,000 on a block. All right, next. Can you see a case for business and retail manufacturing, maybe? Paying to their employees in Bitcoin? Yeah, absolutely. Do you think that is what is needed to see Bitcoin at 25,000? No, it's not what's needed. It'll help. Yeah, you want Bitcoin to be part of a supply chain. You want Bitcoin to move through the ecosystem. I could not care less if some merchant accepts Bitcoin through BitPay and immediately takes the cash. That merchant is irrelevant to me. In fact, I don't want that merchant coming into the Bitcoin space. They can go screw themselves, right? If a merchant even keeps 10% of Bitcoin payment in Bitcoin, I will respect that merchant, right? There are some exceptions, if something like Netflix decides to go into Africa and wants to pop up a QR code for people to pay in Bitcoin, something like Netflix can access an entire region with Bitcoin, and there's no reason for Netflix to hold it in Bitcoin, even though I would advise Netflix to hold it in Bitcoin, because that would be a nice little revenue stream as the price of Bitcoin goes up. But this would be nice. It would help, but it's not necessary, okay? Bitcoin can get to 25,000 just from holders and darknet markets. It just needs more time. And you don't want 25,000 tomorrow either. That's going to cause an infinite amount of stress. You want Lightning Network to be tested and working. Next. Why are they paying fines for manipulating gold silver if they aren't manipulated? Good question. So I strongly recommend you go to my YouTube channel and watch my crypto scam manipulation episode with Andy Hoffman, okay? The manipulation fines, we talked about one of them in length. This was a manipulation fine for Deutsche Bank for manipulating gold between the years, I think, 2002 and like 2005 or longer. You know, like a 4-year, they paid a giant fine for manipulating gold for 4 years straight. When you look into what manipulation it was, the manipulation averaged to half a penny or like a penny, right? So there's two different types of manipulation. There's manipulation where you are asked to quote a price at noon, and for personal gain, you're going to quote that price 5 to 10 cents lower, and then you're going to profit from that 5 to 10 cents lower. But then by the end of the day, the free market moves the price back, right? So what the fine that they paid for the manipulation was basically skinning 5 to 10 cents twice a day, and only at those points during the day. So the rest of the day, gold went up. So for example, during that 5-year stretch, that they were accused of manipulating, the average increase in the price of gold was, I believe, 5 cents per day increase. But in the middle of the day, the price was suppressed on average by, I don't know, maybe $1. But by the end of the day, it would have already recovered and made up for that, right? So they were basically skimming off the fact that they were announcing a price. And for all we know, this fine could have been manipulating gold to the upside, not the downside, right? I believe in this case it was the downside, but it really doesn't matter, right? I mean, you have to separate manipulation for short-term gain, even like high-frequency trading, like front-running your clients. Sure, that kind of manipulation goes on all the time, and companies pay fines. But if you're going to come to me and talk about, a 30-year government-approved suppression of gold prices, I am going to say no. That doesn't happen. I don't believe it. Again, I know, Andy, you're probably pissed as hell at me right now because I know that's your life work to prove that it's true. And Gata, it's their life's work to prove that it's true. But I don't believe in, generational manipulations of anything. Anything. The only thing that comes close is diamonds. That's the only thing that's been suppressed for generations with bullshit that you have to buy a woman a shiny rock. God, I hope nobody heard that. But anyway, that's the only real manipulation there is. And the reason why they can get away with historic 40, 50-year manipulation of diamond prices is because there's no futures on diamonds. There's no open market trading on diamonds. I can't trade diamonds. But I can trade gold. And if I can trade gold, anybody can trade gold. And if some company is skimming 5 to 10 cents in the middle of the day, it doesn't affect me because I'm not trading 10,000 contracts. Because 10 cents on 10,000 contracts is significant. 10 cents on a pair of contracts is not even commission cost. So that's what I mean when I talk about manipulation. All right, next. Do you see Bitcoin as a currency or an asset? I see it as both. And I don't know if the world has ever achieved both in one thing on a consistently long basis. And I'm hoping Bitcoin can. So to me, it's both. I personally treat it as an asset because I don't benefit from the currency of Bitcoin all that much. Mostly because I'm in America and my credit card is very convenient. And I use Bitcoin occasionally, but I only use Bitcoin when somebody only accepts Bitcoin, right? Like when I need to buy something, for example, I'm doing screen share. I'm still doing screen share. Oh, perfect. I'm doing screen share. Okay. Here, if you want the Cryptomatic, the only way to buy the Cryptomatic, I think this one is already sold out. So this is the new model. Not really highlighting much, but if you want to buy the Cryptomatic, the only currency they're going to accept is Bitcoin. And I really want the Cryptomatic. So I had to pay in Bitcoin. If I can pay for this watch in dollars, I would have, right? I only use, and I paid for it in Bitcoin. So the only time I ever use Bitcoin is when I'm forced to use Bitcoin. And therefore, it is a currency, but not for me. But for some people, it's a currency every day. All right. I think I'm done, guys. Give me 1 second here. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, so on this note, I am going to close the show. And thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for your donations, whether in Bitcoin or whether in a super chat during the call. I know it's another 1.5 hour video. I'll see what I can do about that. And hey, if I'm coming to your town to speak, try to come by, try to reach out, try to support. And hey, we can almost be happy again. Let's just wait. Once I start calling it Ccash, the moment it falls below 0.05, I think we'll all be so much happier. All right, have a good night, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.